He let no one else in. His potential for emotional pain was minimized. "How are the boys?" Dimitri asked, when his brother didn't immediately get to the point of his early morning phone call. His nephew, Valentin, was 6.5 years younger than brother Mikhail, who was now 9. Having learned from one of the best, Konstantin's son was just as good an older brother as his father had always been to Dimitri. Dimitri had lucked out with both of his older siblings, not that he would ever admit that to either of them. "Mishka is frighteningly mature for his age, and Valentin is never happier than when he is exploring." Pride rang loud and clear in Konstantin's voice. "They both miss their uncle. I will schedule a trip to Seattle soon. That is the hope. I hardly think making sure I come to visit my nephew soon was worth you leaving Emma in the warm bed for this phone call." The expression on Con's face said he agreed. So, what was going on? Dimitri waited in silence to find out. Con frowned and rubbed his face. "Growing up does not mean cutting yourself off from the joys of relationships, friendship, and otherwise." Dimitri's inner radar blipped. "You've been talking to Dad. He just wants you to be happy." Their father had too much time on his hands since his health had forced him to abdicate the throne to Nikolai. "I am happy as I am." "Are you?" Only family could put so much meaning in 2 simple words. However, Dimitri refused to be drawn into that discussion. Moments of loneliness were to be expected and not something he would ever discuss with his father or brothers. Though royalty, they were a close family. That did not mean he wanted to have some emotion-laden conversation with his older brother. Sarcasm and business were their language currency, and he was pleased to keep it that way. "I am." "You could be happier." "Seriously?" Dimitri gave his brother a disbelieving stare. "Says you? But this is not actually why I dragged myself from my wife's bed so freaking early and snuck off to make a phone call." Could have fooled him. Snuck off? That sounds serious. Even more serious was the fact that his brother had been putting off the real reason for his call. Whatever it wasn't something Con wanted to talk about, and that put Dimitri's instincts on alert. Nevertheless, he joked, "I don't see Emma monitoring your calls." "No, but I don't want her to hear this." Con grimaced. "She's practically as close to Jenna as Natalia is at this point. They're like 3 sisters by different mothers." "And? What did the sexy best friend to his sister-in-law, the Queen of Mirrors, have to do with anything?" "Natalia is all right." His brain automatically went there. His sister-in-law had had a life-risking miscarriage a month after Dimitri's return from deployment. He hadn't even known she was pregnant. Still in their first trimester, Natalia and Nikolai had shared the news with no one. Except perhaps Jenna, the fashion journalist that was like a sister to Natalia, and now apparently Con's wife, Emma. Dimitri hadn't noticed the 3 women growing that close. But then with his office on the other side of the continent from his brothers, as well as their island country of Miros, he did not spend as much time with his family as his father would have liked. Work kept Dimitri busy, though. He was determined to ensure the future stability of the company, Miros Global, and by extension the country to which he had been born prince. It was his honor and his duty. "She's pregnant again," Konstantin answered, his expression anything but pleased. "Surely that is good news." Konstantin nodded. "Of course it is, but after the last time it is imperative she be exposed to nothing stressful." While Dimitri agreed, he did not know how realistic a goal that was for the Queen of Miros. "And there is something you think I can do to minimize her stress?" "Yes." "I cannot imagine what," Dimitri answered honestly. "Though naturally I will do what..."